Hey guys, how you going? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to perform global regular expression searches on strings in JavaScript. Okay, so this is going to be a follow-up to my previous video on the basics of regular expressions in JavaScript. So if you're not too sure how regular expressions work in JavaScript, definitely check out my previous video before watching this one. I also expect you actually know just the basics of regular expressions in general before watching this video. So what I mean by globals is essentially how to use the global flag which you may find at the end of regular expression strings. So for example, your pattern might look like this, and then with the G global flag at the end of the actual regular expression itself. So essentially, this G global flag allows you to use your pattern and then match it multiple times on a test string. So you have one pattern and you're able to use it to match multiple different parts of a string. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at how to use this, or how to make use of this global flag in JavaScript. So we're going to be covering two main methods, and that's going to be the regular expression object.execute or exec method, and this is going to be the main way and probably the most common way to actually use the global flag. We're also going to take a look at the matchAll method, which is kind of a newer method, and it sort of simplifies the process of using the global flag, but unfortunately it doesn't have too good browser support. In fact, only Chrome, Opera and Firefox actually support this matchAll method as of 2019. So definitely just ensure that the environment which runs the JavaScript has access to this matchAll method before using it. So anyway, let's go inside the text editor and explore these two different methods to perform global matches. So let's go inside here and go down inside the JavaScript and firstly just define a testing string. So we're going to say const test str equal to some sort of string. For example, something like hi, I have 5 cats and I have 2 dogs. So on first glance, you may already guess what my pattern is going to look like, but basically we're going to be searching for this pattern right here. We're going to be searching for I have, and then some sort of numeric, and then some sort of word. So I have numeric, and then the actual name of the animal or the pet. We can see here we get 2 scenarios in this string which have the same pattern. 5 cats and then 2 dogs. So of course here we can see a perfect use case of the global flag. We've got a single pattern and we have multiple occurrences of that pattern in a single string. Okay, so we're also going to be seeing how to use capture groups. So we're going to be capturing the value of the actual numeric and also the value of the actual pet name. So let's now go down here and define the regular expression pattern. So we're going to say const right here, make this called re, short for of course regular expression, equal to, and then this pattern right here. It's going to look like this. We're going to say I have, then a space, and then do a capture group for \d and then plus. So essentially looking for one or more numerical characters inside a capture group. Then we're going to say here another capture group, okay, and we're going to say \w plus. So essentially, of course, one or more alphanumeric characters or underscores, okay, and of course inside a capture group once again. And then of course, most importantly, we need to add the G global flag to the end of this regular expression. And that of course is the main purpose of this video. So now we have the testing string and we have the regular expression object defined. We can now take a look at, of course, these two methods to make use of the global flag. So first up is the exec method on the object itself. So basically the way this one works is when you use the G global flag, this regular expression object becomes stateful. It remembers details about each match, or it knows details of the previous match. Okay, so it sort of like iterates and cycles through each match. So it's much easier to explain just with some code. So firstly, let's define a variable called regex result. And this variable is going to contain information for each individual match we find. So basically, this right here is one match, and of course this right here is a second match. So this will hold each match as we loop through the exec method. Okay, so then down here we can do a while loop, and we can say while regex result is equal to re.exec, so calling that execute method. We're going to pass in here, of course, the test string. So execute a search using this regular expression on this test string. Okay, so now we're going to say does not equal null. So essentially, the exec method is going to run twice. We're going to run once for this match right here, and a second time for this match. On the third execution of this method, it's going to give us null because there are no more matches. Okay, so essentially this while loop is going to run twice, one for each match. Okay, so then we can console.log regex result. So the current value of the regex result variable. And this right here is going to be an array, basically the same thing as opposed to using the regular expression without the G flag. So I'm going to save this and refresh, and we can see here we get two arrays containing the details for each individual match. If I was to expand this for the first match, we can see here the main match is going to be I have 5 cats at index 0. Then we have all of the capture groups. So we can see here at index 1, we have the first capture group value, of course 5 in this case. And at index 2, we have the second capture group value, of course cats in this case. Okay, we've also got here a property called index. This contains the index at which the actual match was found. So down here with the input property, this contains basically the testing string. So if we say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can see index 4 contains I, which of course is the beginning of the actual match, and that is what the index property is. Okay, so that is the first result, and this of course only contains information about that particular match. Now the second result here is a very similar thing. Of course, right here, it is now for the second match. I have 2 dogs, whereas before it was for I have 5 cats. So we've basically successfully made use of the global flag right here by simply doing that. Okay, so of course, index 1 contains the first capture group, index 2 contains the second capture group, and of course here this index property now is 22 because this I right here is going to be index 22. So that right there is, the basic usage, but also we have a special property on the actual regular expression object itself called last index. And this might be useful to not only see, but also reassign. So I'm going to go down here and say console.log. We're going to log out the value of last index. As I said, the regular expression object turns stateful when it uses the G flag. So I'm going to say here last index, and we're going to say plus re.lastIndex, just like that. Okay, we're also going to log out the value of last index before the exec method runs at all. So up here we're going to say console.log re.lastIndex, and this will give us, of course, the initial last index. Okay, so now I'm going to save this and refresh, and we can see here that the initial or starting last index is going to be 0. Okay, now after this result runs or gets executed, we can see here the last index is now 17. So this 17 basically refers to this index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So basically this last index basically says where the exec method is going to begin searching for on the next call. So basically, when we called exec down here in the second loop iteration, it actually started searching from index 17 onwards. So basically right here. Okay, so that's why it's quite powerful if you wanted to reassign it or do something like that. Okay, but anyway, we can see now if I was to go down here, last index is now 35, which is the last index in the actual string itself. So if I was to say test string dot length, we can see of course it is 36. So that last index property is definitely something to know about and potentially make use of. Okay, so right there is the usage of the exec method on the regular expression object. Remember that this sort of logic right here only applies when you're using the G global flag. So now onto the second method, the matchAll method. As I said, this is a bit of an easier way to use or make use of the global flag. And this way revolves around iterators. Okay, so the usage is a lot simpler. We're going to define a new constant down here called matches. It's going to be equal to test string dot matchAll. Okay, you're going to pass in the regular expression. So previously we would say regular expression dot exec and pass in the string. This time we start with the string and we say matchAll and pass in the regular expression instead. So now calling this method is going to give you an iterator, which will basically iterates over each match. So we can say right here, for const match of matches, we're going to console.log the actual match itself. Okay, so now we should see 2 iterations of this loop. So I'm going to save this and refresh. We can see here we first get the first array, so basically the same thing as before, and we get right here the second array. Okay, so of course it is a lot easier to use this matchAll method, and since it is an iterator, you can use it for things like array destructuring as well. For example, I can actually do this. I can say const, I can say something like first match and then second match, just like this. Then I can say is equal to matches, just like that. So now if I was to console.log first match and then console.log the second match, save this and refresh, we can see here we get once again the 2 arrays. This is the value of the first match and this is the value of the second match. Okay, so those are the 2 ways you can make use of the global flag for regular expressions in JavaScript. Remember, the matchAll method is only supported on Chrome, Firefox and Opera as of August 2019. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.